Hello, good evening. We're live at ringside on the Big Fight Live, and I've got myself a bit of heavyweight assistance here tonight. Riddick, welcome to ITV.
Thank you.
Part of your world tour, I know, coming to London, and also coming to have a look at Herbie Hyde at first hand. And it's been confirmed that Herbie could well be a future opponent for this fella here. But tonight, Herbie Hyde tries to add his name to a list of illustrious British heavyweight champions. There was our Henry, wasn't there? Flashing left hook, fallible scar tissue. He had a 10-year reign, putting an unprecedented 9 notches on the Lonsdale belt. 59 to 69 was Henry's golden era. Joe Bugner controversially ended Cooper's career and took his cherished title from him as well. Joe used the British title as a springboard for distance fights with Ali and then with Frazier. And more recently, we've had Lennox Lewis, now recognised as champion by the WBC. Lewis has relinquished his British title. He's got bigger fish to fry now on the world stage. So now Herbie Hyde is determined to grab his chance. Now, Hyde isn't a big heavyweight. His speed is his greatest asset. 21-year-old from Norwich, he's unbeaten. He goes for his 21st knockout tonight. Last time out, he was too good for the gallant Argentinian Juan Antonio Diaz.
So this is where you've got to sort out the top boys when they know how to finish an opponent, and I think Hyde will be able to do that. And there, he stopped it anyway, I'm sure. No, he hasn't. He's got to give him a chance to get up. He's looking to the corner there, the Argentinian, but I think the manager's trying to call it off. No, he's let it go on. Manager's on the apron, and now he's waving it over. Well, he doesn't have to, because that was the third knockdown anyway. 20 on the spin now for Herbie Hyde.
So there's a little glimpse of Herbie Hyde for you, Riddick. I mean, what are your instant impressions of our Herbie?
Well, as you stated earlier, Herbie has a great deal of hand speed, but I do believe he needs a lot more seasoning in him. So tonight, I'm going to see what he has.
Right, I'm sure it'll be interesting for you to have a little look at that. But your world tour has been, has been a terrific success for you, hasn't it? There must be some great memories. Here you are in Soweto, meeting Nelson Mandela.
Yes, that was a great experience, shaking hands with Nelson Mandela and going to Somalia to meet with the soldiers there and the kids and what have you.
Your meeting with some of the children, though, there was a very emotional moments for you, particularly as a family man, really.
Yes, I was very touched. Just the thought of my kids being in that predicament and just knowing how blessed we are.
But then it's on to Rome and a very, very special meeting there.
Yes, I had an audience with the Pope, and I think that's the only thing that could compare with meeting Nelson Mandela.
And there's your manager, Rock Newman, who, of course, does all the business side of things for you. So, Riddick, great tour so far. I know you're moving on from here. I think you're going to Spain, and then you're going on to Germany. But, of course, a lot of the viewers out there on the Big Fight Live will remember you from the fight with Michael Dokes. I mean, you wince a bit there, I know, but, I mean, it was a brief and very effective night's work for you, but he was never in your class, was he?
Oh, not at all. And I keep telling the boxing public that the only guy I feel like can give me a great fight is Mike Tyson. Everybody else I beat with no problem.
You really feel that? I mean, he's protesting at the end here, but it was such a one-sided fight, it was almost embarrassing for you. But you really feel that it's only Mike Tyson that might cause a threat to you, do you?
That is correct. I know people here are very high on Lennox Lewis, but I think within the first 5 or 7 rounds, I would stop Lennox Lewis.
Despite what happened to you in the Olympic Games back in Seoul?
Yeah, very much so. I felt like the referee had a big part with the outcome, but I think now when we level, and I don't think Lennox can stand the pressure.
You say when we fight there. I mean, there's a lot of bad-mouthing going along between you and the various camps and things like that. But this fight is surely going to happen, if not this year, next year.
Oh, very much so. And to be honest with you, I'm looking forward to it. I just hope that when we do fight, people will recognize me as the true heavyweight champion of the world, which I feel now that I am.
Right. It's your first taste of a sort of fight night here in Britain. You've been enjoying yourself, haven't you?
Yes, this is the first time I've been to a fight in Britain, and it's great. Me and my wife, we love it.
Terrific. And you've created a very good impression here, and we look forward to hearing from you during the fight. But when we return, it's going to be the action. Herbie Hyde and Michael Murray. See you for that. Welcome back to the Goresbrook Leisure Centre near Dagenham in East London. The battle about to start for the vacant British heavyweight title. Michael Murray is already in the ring, and now we await the arrival of Herbie Hyde. There's Michael Murray. He's been accused of being a little bit laid back in the past, but he's worked himself very hard for this one, and that corner absolutely convinced that this fella, now living in Manchester, is going to cause a major upset here tonight and stop Herbie Hyde in his tracks. Big man with a big right hand, Michael Murray. Really does believe he is the one and only, and he's keeping Murray waiting at the moment. 28-year-old Michael Murray, and here comes Mr. Hyde, the dancing destroyer. Very quick hands, an accurate puncher. He says he's got this exceptional talent. I've got moves people haven't even seen yet, and my power is amazing. We're watching Herbie. Just 21 years of age, didn't have a fight until he was 17. And everyone they put in front of me, I've knocked out, is his proud boast. Your big fight commentators are going to be Jib Watt and Reg Gottridge. First of all, your MC, Mike Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. The big fight live on ITV from Dagenham. A contest of 12 three-minute rounds promoted by Frank Warren Productions in association with Matchroom Boxing, matchmaker Mr. Ronnie Fossey, and sponsored by the Daily Mirror and Sunday Mirror newspapers. A contest to decide the vacant heavyweight championship of Great Britain, between introducing in the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with the white trim, from Manchester with a record of 11 wins, 8 by KO and 4 losses, the heavyweight champion of the central area, Michael Murray. And in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks, from Norwich with 20 wins, undefeated, all by KO, the WBC International and WBA Pentacontinental Champion, Herbie Hyde. At the weigh-in today, Murray scaled 16 stone 2 pounds, Hyde 14 stone 12 and a half pounds. Your officials for this contest, appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control, the timekeeper, Mr. Tom Rice, the referee, Mr. Dave Parris of London. Ladies and gentlemen, this week, the East End of London and the world became the poorer for the loss of a great local hero. In boxing tradition, would you please stand for the 10 bells for Bobby Moore, OBE. Thank you.
Well, there's a difference in the weight there, isn't there? 14, 12 and a half Hyde, which is actually a half a pound heavier than he's ever weighed. Michael Murray at 16, 2 and a half. He's actually been 17, 1, 16, 2 in previous fights. But the Boxing Board of Control were keeping a close eye on him, going to the gymnasium, making sure he was training hard. And that was one of the conditions why they sanctioned this fight for the vacant heavyweight championship vacated by Lennox Lewis. So it's unbeaten Hyde, and a big powerful fella here. Seen him fight a few times, Michael Murray, and Hyde can certainly talk a good fight, and so far he's can back up his bases. fighters not exactly in the dreadnought weight class that's going around today, such as Riddick Bowes at our ringside. Oh, well, he's getting a real telling off the referee there, Londoner Dave Paris, one-time light heavyweight. When I say break, I mean break. Oh, well, that's a good start. Have to make a clean break and not hit on it on the way out. That's used to happen in British boxing, but they fell in line with the rest of the world with that rule. Certainly got fast hands, Herbie Hyde. As Riddick Bowes says, he needs that bit of experience, but it's even on the short or long list to fight Riddick Bowes. That should inspire him enough here. And if not, certainly winning the British Championship. There's been 40 winners in this now 100 years of gloved boxing of the British heavyweight title. You can hear Riddick Bowes shouting, "Use your jab, Herbie." I doubt if he can hear it. He's a big lump, as they say in boxing, Michael Murray, Jim. He'll take a bit of shifting, won't he?
Yeah, but already you can see the difference in sharpness between everything that Hyde does and what Murray's doing. I mean, Murray made a good positive start. The first attack, he landed a decent right hand. But Hyde certainly looks sharp. He is a real prospect, Hyde. Obviously, we'd like to see him put on a little bit of weight there for when he faces the big boys. But tremendous speed, tremendous sharpness he has.
He really hasn't been under too much pressure in any of his fights. Maybe Jean Chaney, the Frenchman, gave him a hard time, and an Aussie too gave him a bit of a run. So we don't know over long distance yet, but maybe we won't know for many years. I don't know. He certainly puts them together well.
Murray's defence is a little bit loose when Hyde mounts an attack. You know, he's ducking down, but he's keeping his hands low. He wants to get his hands up around his chin, get his elbows tucked in. Certainly in the first couple of rounds until maybe he gets himself boxed into the fight. This action is too sharp for Murray at the moment.
What do you know about that? He seemed to rock Hyde there with that punch anyway. Countdown then for the end of the first. Coming out for the second, and definitely, Jim, a little bit of a shake of the unsteady leg there with Hyde. I don't think he was expecting that.
Yeah, Murray landed the first decent punch that he's landed in the first round. There certainly was a reaction in Hyde's legs, so I would suggest Murray just gets his defences a little bit tighter and just tries the odd pot shot to try to catch Hyde as he moves in. See, he can't go at this pace. He's not sharp enough to compete with Hyde at this pace. So just cover up and pot shot now and again.
I imagine after that, the Hyde's cornermen are saying, don't hang about too much, let some punches go. And he does there. Stops his hands, but he throws them from the waist sometimes, like that.
Murray's going to have to throw back, Reg. He's just trying to duck and dive here, but he's going to have to throw some punches back, get a bit of respect there.
One of the reasons he was able to get this contest that the Border Patrol weren't too sure at the start is because he beat Marcus Bott, the German who's just become the WBO cruiserweight champion. He knocked him out as well, and this was the same weight when he knocked out Marcus Bott. Also, his legs are going a bit now, Jim.
I don't know if that was a shove, Reg, but I mean, Murray is very negative at the moment. He should be throwing some punches back. He's just trying to survive in there. He's going to have to throw some punches back. Just total survival from Murray at the moment.
I know Murray's management, Jack Trickett and co, have said he's trained hard for this fight, but he puts him together well, Hyde. When he thinks he's got the man on the hook, or when he knows he's got the man on the hook, he does well.
I mean, Murray's got a chance of being British champion here, Reg. He's got to take it. He can't be so negative. He's got to throw some punches back. He's going to get blasted out of there otherwise.
I don't think Riddick Bowe's exactly shaking in his boots for this. He's by nature a bit of a lazy fighter in the ring, actually, Murray. I mean, he's never been an all-action man, so he's not exactly freezing against Hyde. He just hasn't got the ability. But, you know, one of these big swings, one of these lunges, who knows in this business? They're the least predictable of all sportsmen heavyweights.
His defences are far too loose, Reg. Always have been.
That's it. Well, if he stays down there, the bell will go, but the referee will continue counting. No, he hasn't. He's up okay. But it's only a question of seconds, I would have thought. No, just had one after the bell there. The referee was a bit game diving in. Well, I imagine now that he's having a... Let's go over to Riddick Bowe, see what he thinks anyway.
Riddick, what have you thought of Herbie so far?
Well, I think at this point, Herbie's he's trying hard to be impressive, and so that's making him a bit tight. But I think as the fight progresses, he'll learn to relax a bit more and take care of this fellow.
He's quite small for a heavyweight, isn't he, Herbie Hyde? Explain what the weight was in pounds to you, 208.5 pounds.
Yes, he is quite small, and I think that would prove to be a big factor in if he were to fight me. I think my weight would be a lot for Herbie to handle.
Yeah, because you're nearly 3 stone heavier than him, so there is a big difference.
Right, I'm a bona fide heavyweight, and Herbie looks more like a cruiserweight.
So out for the third round, and that's the first time in 15 fights actually that Murray has taken a count. And the way it's going, he just might take another one too. As you say, Jim, he's got to get a little bit of desperation, getting a chance at the heavyweight championship here, Murray. He's 28 years old, he knows what it's all about. Hyde's still allowed at 21, although people like Patterson and Ben Cassius Clay won their title around that age, and of course Mike Tyson.
I mean, defensive boxing in the early stages is all right if you're not getting hit, but he's getting hit, Reg, and he's doing nothing back. You'd think more of Murray if he just have a real go at Hyde, see if he can maybe pull something out of the bag. All he's trying to do at the moment is survive. Just wants to throw some punches back.
Case of the pitcher and the catcher here.
He just looks completely intimidated by Hyde. He just doesn't seem to have any belief in himself that he can spring an upset here.
He even stands against the rope, Jim. He wasn't even getting out of the way there. So got a little bit better off in the centre of the ring. Can only assume that Marcus Bott must have had his... Oh dear, there you go. So I said, he throws one down again, but he's looking down at Riddick Bowe there, actually, Herbie Hyde.
At least Murray's trying to come back with a punch. That's more like it. Give Hyde something to worry about.
Inside the last minute of this third round. Well, he can just pick punches as he wants here, Hyde, but I still think he's risking it a bit, Jim, going with hands too low at times and ignoring Murray's punches.
Yeah, but when you see your opponent bend down, Reg, you know he's not going to, he can't throw a worthwhile punch from that angle. So Hyde just total attack. I mean, he's doing as he likes. I think the end is in sight, Reg.
Might have left it again a bit too late in this round. Oh, there he goes now. The bell Won't interrupt this count now. The referee will continue if he doesn't get up, but I think he will.
7, 8.
And there's the bell, and that's what they call saved by the bell. Well, I don't know what to say about this fellow, really. There was a lot of controversy. A fellow called Paddy Riley in the audience, whose amateur name was Clifton Mitchell. He's calling out to him, you shouldn't be in there, I should be in there, because he beat this fellow. In fact, twice. No, just once. Gypsy Fury beat him twice. So Ray Farrell from the north has got to get him going. Just have a look at this now. I think this is where Murray... Yes, that's it, Jim. Wasn't a bad swinging punch, actually. He got away with it.
A big crude swing that landed, but didn't do Hyde any... It didn't give him any problems. Hyde just doing completely as he likes. Nothing coming back his way. So he's finding it difficult to catch Murray cleanly because he's thinking so much about defence.
10 seconds, corners. Seconds on, round 4.
Fourth round then. No point in saying scheduled for 12 because you could have 1,000 to 1 that, I think. And they won't need judges for this. They don't have any in the British Championship anyway. Referee's solely in charge if it went the full distance. So now, let's see if Hyde can do a little bit more showing off now to, well, maybe even try to impress Riddick Bowe.
Right.
Oh, that's it. That final left hook there did it. I imagine he'll keep getting up. We don't have that 3 knockdown rule in British fights where it's automatically stopped. Referee can stop it at any time or count him out, one or the other. Another heavyweight here having a look. Fairly well known, Jim, Frank Bruno. I wonder what he's thinking of this as well now.
Well, Frank never showed much interest in the British title at any time in his career, so it's obviously just a night out for Frank. The Hyde throwing good enough punches. It's always difficult to land cleanly on a man who's thinking solely about survival. That's a bit better from Murray. He let some punches go.
Yeah, now he's doing a bit of the Ali stuff now. I'd rather he didn't because it's a bit of a poor imitation, really, of a great fighter. When he fought the Frenchman Jean Chanet, Hyde said, you know, he was blowing a bit towards the end of that there in the 7th and 8th rounds. And he said, well, I got a bit bored, and I'm wondering if he's going to get a bit bored hitting this fella, Jim.
I think he wants to settle down a little bit. He's trying to blast Murray out with one hit. I think maybe settle down, work off a jab. I mean, it's not difficult to open Murray up. He doesn't have a tight defence. But Hyde's trying to do it with one shot. If he just took his time, showed a little feint, open him up with a jab, he could finish the job, no problem. Because I think Murray's lost the little bit of interest to come in with.
I said at the start, Jim, you know, with all his many limitations, Murray, he's a big lump and takes a bit of shifting, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I just think Hyde, he keeps wanting to do it with a one hit. I mean, he could open this fellow up with a jab, put some punches together, keep himself set, but he's swinging big swings himself. Then get into a little bit of a mess when he gets up close to Murray. He wants to clean up his own act, he wants to tidy up his boxing, and he could finish this up.
Fifth round then, and we keep saying that, well, it could all be over here. But at least Murray came off the stool as he was intending to go for the opponent. Hyde's not doing him so much good, Jim, if he's going to start labouring by the 5th round to knock this fellow out.
His work's just been a little bit untidy, and I think that's mainly because he wants to do it with one hit. I mean, he could be catching this fella with good, solid, clean jabs without a problem. Then one decent right-hander would finish the job. But he's just been throwing big left hooks and big right hands, trying to do it with that one single shot. And this becomes a little bit messy at times.
At least I give Murray his credit. He manages to get up so far anyway. As I said before, he hadn't been down before.
Well, if Murray hangs around much longer, Reg, you might start showing some of Hyde's limitations. I mean, Hyde should be catching him with clean shots here. He doesn't have a tight defence. But Hyde's certainly making heavy weather of it. That was a good punch from Hyde. That was a good, solid counter shot.
Very swift shot going in now. This could be all over now in the fifth. Yes, it will be. That's it. It's a minute to go in this round. Now, he may get up. To be fair to this guy, he's a bit brave. He's limited, obviously. No, it's all over. He counted 9, and he got up on completely disobeyed his legs there. He just got out of trouble with that sort of burst of punches at the end there, Hyde. He was sort of as though he wanted to yawn at one stage. I got the impression anyway, or, you know, he was blowing a bit. So he's the new British heavyweight champion, although at the moment it looks as though he's not that thrilled about it, Jim.
Yeah, well, at least he finished the job properly. That was a lovely little right hand that set up the finish. He just caught Murray as he came forward. A lovely little right hand punch, which was worth waiting for. But thankfully, because if it had gone on much longer, it really was becoming untidy. I mean, but see, for most of the time, see Murray had already, his legs had gone from there. This was just exhaustion and the effects of that lovely little right hand punch. No chance the referee can allow him to continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes, 12 seconds of the fifth round, the referee has stopped the contest. Michael Murray being in no position to continue. The winner and new heavyweight champion of Great Britain, Herbie Hyde.
So 21 years old, born in Nigeria, but came to Norwich at a very young age to be adopted. And didn't exactly have the crowd in raptures there. And I have to say, Jim, you know, he usually bounces around the ring, pleased with himself, but he's very subdued.
Yeah, it's obviously not as clean a job as he would have liked himself. A little bit untidy here and there.
So that's it then. Back to Jim Rosenthal.
Thanks very much indeed, Reg. Well, it'll be interesting to have a little word with Herbie Hyde and just get his reaction to that. But we've got an absolute cracking fight coming up for you next between Sean Murphy and Alan Mackay for the vacant British featherweight title. It's a great fight. We'll see you in a couple of minutes for that.
Well, you're the new champion. What do you think of it tonight, Herbie?
I put up a very, very good performance. Considering he was about a stone half heavier than what I was, I thought I'd done very, very well. I thought I'd done well, Gary.
OK, Riddick, what did you think? Because you're the world champion. It's your opinion that counts.
Well, I thought Herbie was a bit tight. I know he wanted to give everybody a good performance, so perhaps trying hard, it might have made him a little tense. But other than that, I think he did pretty good.
What about his hand speed? You've heard a lot about his hand speed. Did you see much of that?
Well, I didn't see much of it, I guess because he was trying to load up with big shots. But maybe perhaps the next time out he might show that hand speed.
Herbie didn't pick his opponent for this. It was a vacant title. But what did you think of the opponent who was a lot heavier?
Well, I thought he was rather slow. He wasn't in the class that Herbie's in. So hopefully the next time Herbie fights, he'll fight somebody that can really give him a rough going at it.
If you were to fight Herbie Hyde as your manager promised in August, how long do you think the fight would last?
I would have to say I would knock Herbie out in the first round.
Well, if he's going to knock you out in the first round, is it worth going for it, Herbie?
Who's going to knock me at him?
Yeah, if you were listening, he was saying he was going to knock you out in one round.
Well, you can't hit what you can't say.
Well, Herbie, I had to tell you, if you gave a performance like you did tonight, it would be easy for me to hit you.
No, you can't. When I fight you, I won't be doing that. I'll be hitting you there.
Well, that's easier said than done. Evander Holyfield thought he would hit me there, and there.
Evander Holyfield is not as quick as me. Evander Holyfield don't move as fast as me.
I'm telling you something. Evander is one of the fastest heavyweights I've fought, he's far faster than you, Herbie.
Listen, let's get it on
probably hits harder.
Huh?
He probably hits harder.
He might hit harder, but I'm faster. I'm a better thinker. This was a bad night because
Herbie, this lad's 3 stone heavier than you are.
Gary, I'll be on my feet. I'll be dancing and destroying. That's why they call me the dancing destroyer. Gary, you can't hit what you can see.
Harry asked him what will happen once I hit him. He won't be dancing. He will be destroyed.
No. You got to hit me first.
Okay, let's get back to the fight, actually. This is the finish, Herbie. What do you remember this?
Well, I think I was trying to impress. If I didn't try to, I would box a lot better. Because he was not really in my class. I wanted to knock him out. If I was to fight someone on Riddick Bowe, I'll be aware. I'll be dancing. I'll be making him miss. But with Murray, I was fast. I was a better puncher. I just want to knock him out. I didn't want him to be in the ring with me. That's why I took it easy. I didn't take it easy, but...
Okay, let's bring in Barry Hearn, who always has something to say. Now, hopefully Barry will be fairly realistic. You ought to stop thinking about Herbie Hyde against Riddick Bowe now, sure?
Well, no, don't you want to see it live on ITV along with all the other top fights? Of course.
Will it last very long? Is Riddick Bowe right?
Like we said, Riddick Bowe's a great world champion, a fabulous world champion. But like Herbie says, you know, if you can't hit him, you can't hurt him. That'll have to be proved. There's only one place to prove it because talk is cheap. They've got to get it in there.
Gary.
Yes, go on.
Everybody, when I fought for the first world title, everyone thought, if you fight for a title, you automatically become a better fighter. Tonight, I was just fighting for a British title. When I fight for world title, I'll be twice as good. I'll be faster. He knows it. When you fight for world title, you're better than what you are. Agree with it?
Oh, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Well, let me say this. A lot of people don't. They tend to underestimate me. I will walk Herbie down and make Herbie pay for a lot of mistakes that I've seen this evening.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, gentlemen. Let's go back to Jim Rosenthal.